And here we go. Welcome, everybody. This is the Day Trading Options Daily Review for July 22nd, 2016. I'm Scott. He's Alan. We're happy that you've joined us. There's a little subscribe button, bottom right-hand corner. Click on that so you don't miss any of our amazing videos. We want to show you that you can make 10% in 10 minutes trading stock options. In other words, do it 4 times a week, you're looking at the 40-minute work week, which just keeps getting better and better. In the descriptions, you'll find links to our courses. They range from $20 to $50 if you don't get them on sale. Obviously, a lot less than the $3,000 that you'd be spending if you go to a hotel somewhere and listen to some guy talk to you for an hour and using his system, which usually doesn't work for me. I've tried a few of them. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Alan. Alan, were we able to make some money today? Or on this day?
Yep. And this is a Friday, and Fridays sometimes are a bit tricky.
They're hard.
We actually made an advanced course video specifically about Fridays and what little things you may want to know that are helpful. But we're just going to talk about right now the trades that you could find and how they fit the rules. So this one here, Herbalife, is you can see you've got the regular tint here, and then you've got this background tint there, and we've got the K-band line running up. So this in the market's going up. Now this is not like, it's summertime, it's Friday, you're not going to have the volume that you normally have. So you're not going to see the big days that run. You're less likely on this kind of day to see the big runs up. So we're looking for smaller moves, and if it keeps going and there's no reason to leave, then sure, we'll stay in. But I'm not expecting, you know, the big home run kind of things in this situation. So I hit the buy button already, and let's just see what happens when we move forward here. So yeah, you're down a little bit, right? There's going to be less support, less volume. So, you know, oh, there, now she takes off. And at this point, is there any reason to leave? No. I'm going to turn on the market line. So the market was with us, which is why I like this one. And we're above the bench, which is where we got in. We were waiting for it to make sure it was there. And it wasn't the ideal time to get in, but we got in. So there's nothing to say we should leave yet. So what happens if we stay 1 minute? Well, now you went from 11% profit to 3%. So what happens? We're just going to wait a little longer and see if it gets better. And you're like, well, darn, I'm at break even roughly, and the market's turning red. And it's like, well, you can hang around and maybe you're going to get lucky, but you're stressing during this stage. And yeah, you might get lucky and it might make money, but the reality is, and so yeah, you know, if you hang around for a really long time, it did make money, but you're at risk. So the point is, here it is, you got 11%. Take it, especially in the summertime, low volume, and let's see if there's something else. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. So the market's, the black line here, represents 3,000 of the best stocks, which is really the upper half, so to speak, of the market. So here I picked a different trade. This is Facebook, where again, it's the tint. It's just broke through the benchmark, and I hit the buy button, presuming I didn't buy it at the best time, but it broke it, and I'm like, the market's still kind of green, and I like the long-term view of where Facebook was going. So it's like, well, let's just see what's happening here. So down 3%, 5%, you're like, ouch, the market's going the wrong way. And this is the business of, you know, timing. Now you'll notice that the market is still running down, the stock's moving back, but you have another chance to get in. And this is the kind of fluttery stuff you're going to have to deal with summertime Fridays. And yes, it continued up. Everything was good. But don't expect like, wow, it's going to really cook. No, most of the ones at this time are not going to cook. You may have to endure the flutter, and you have to do a little bit more. Well, is this really a great stock today? And it might be. But, you know, this particular stock, there was a gap. And so I don't recommend, and this is where we've got people that talk. It says right there, gap below 120.25. This is why I liked it at this point, is it filled the gap. So maybe it's going to go up and maybe it's not going to go but down, but it looked like it was going to keep going up because it was a gap. So we're just going to get out. We're not greedy on these days, as we've talked about. Well, do you have something else? Well, maybe. Let's look at Tesla. Now, this is at 11 o'clock, so the market's been open for a while. But here we're looking at the same thing where it's not fighting the benchmark. The market's moving up. I have two different colors. I've got this tint and I've got that tint. And so it's a little late in the trade. Not too bad, but you can see the market with 64 green. That's pretty strong. So I already hit the buy button on that for simplicity. And what we're going to do is we're just going to see, does this trade work out? So 1 minute. Okay, now we're happy. And, you know, we're going to say, well, how's the market doing? Well, it's still strong for the green. It's pulled back a little, but it's still strong. And you can see that we're doing well. And again, I'm only, if I get 10% on a choppy weekdays like that, I'm happy. So you could hang around and you might make money, but my rule is just get out. Don't be gambling with this stuff. And yes, it turned out great. Well, that's up to you. You can hang on or get out, but I got out because of those other things. But you'll notice here the market line is starting to run down. Well, getting out could be good. And we just want to make small profits here. The big profit days, they're obvious, they're easy. This is not one of those days.
And we want to keep harping on what Warren Buffett said when asked how did he make so much money in the stock market. And he said, I got in too late and I got out too soon. And one of the things that I've noticed is when you hit a peak or the bottom and it starts going the other way, the option prices move incredibly quickly. Mm-hmm. So it's always a good idea to be out well before everyone's thinking the thing is over.
Yeah, the bid price falls away. And we cover that also in that last course that we're making for people. You know, all those little important points. And we cover that in the coaching or the Facebook page, but we're organizing that into a video so you can just watch it when you like. So here's the last trade. I had to include this one too. And because it fits the same type of rules. We're above the benchmark. We've got the two kinds of tint. The market is still greenish. It seems like it's heading up, and now it's 11:30. And so what happens? Well, again, just small profits. That's all we're looking for. Oops, hit the wrong key there. Where was that? That guy. So here we are. It's moving. And have I got my 10% yet? Nope, 5, 12. I don't know, Scott. Should I hit sell? I'm not waiting. And, you know, yeah, sure, it makes more money, but that's not the best choice. The best choice is just get paid.
That's right.
So the review for the day is 10 minutes on this last trade, less than 10 minutes. Some of them are just over 10 minutes, 5 minutes. But we weren't hanging around to get bigger gains and risk giving back whatever profit we had on the table. We just snapped those, you know, payments.
I like the way you say that, snapped those payments, because what we're talking about is you get a little bit of momentum, you get a little bit of movement in a direction, you take advantage of it, then you get out. So it's like skimming the cream off the milk before we had homogenized milk. Mm-hmm. And that's what you want. It's nice, easy, simple, and it takes practice and it takes understanding the tools. And of course, that's what we talk about and teach you in the training. And when you take the training, you get 30 days of the Waves of Profit software for free so that you can actually practice. So don't get the Waves of Profit until you're ready to actually dedicate 30 days to practice. You'd mentioned the Facebook group. Get in there, ask your questions. You can ask questions in the courses. Of course, you can leave comments on the videos if you see wherever you see them. But you really want to immerse yourself into it so that you're really understanding what's going on. You've practiced. Then you move to paper trading. You practice with that because there are differences. And then you practice with real money. And you always start off small and slow, because the idea is to maintain your capital, not do silly things and lose it all. And the reason we say that is because it happens all the time. Any last comments, Alan, before we sign off?
Nope, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Bottom right-hand corner, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of these exciting episodes, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.